Hey there, folks. Zane from the Infinite Jukebox here with another quick album review, and today I wanted to talk about the new Erika de Casier record, Still. Over the course of the past few years, Erika de Casier has been slowly working her way up the ranks of relevance within the realm of R&B, and albums like her 2019 studio album Essentials, as well as that record's follow-up, 2021's Sensational, have cultivated for her a fan base that is pretty enamored with her extremely grounded yet daring take on R&B fusion with various other subgenres coming from different parts of the musical sphere to ultimately result in a sound that is uniquely hers, equally as accessible as it is fairly unpredictable. Still, her latest studio album, if I'm being totally honest, just kind of sees Cassier continue to sort of appeal to the audience that she set for herself rather than branching out into something totally experimental. But, I mean, I can't really complain. Her fan base has good taste and she makes good music. And believe it or not, this album is good. Well, good if you like Erika de Casier. If you don't, then I guess it's not. Still is a record that, similar to previous Erika de Casier records, has a number of different, very small influences that manage to influence one, maybe two tracks per influence, really. I don't mean to bring out mathematics here, but that really is true. And it does so in a manner that is so impactful in a way that almost feels like it shouldn't be. It kind of feels like a lot of tracks here are extremely unique creatively, despite the fact that just in concept you wouldn't really expect them to be. I mean, the muffled jazz tones on the Blood Orange collaboration Twice give proceedings this sort of laid-back grip on the listener that you might not even be able to totally pinpoint upon first listen. That isn't to mention the drum and bass influences on Lucky that successfully create this sort of nightlife, sort of neo club kind of vibe about it, and I absolutely love that track in particular. It's a major highlight for me. And again, it's a song that stands out on this record despite having a pretty consistent soundscape with a lot of other tracks on this album. It's that each individual song has so much care put into it that you can really tell how each one has been detailed in its own specific unique way to give it its own defined personality, and because of that, I greatly admire a lot of the work put in here. Also, the drum and bass influences on Lucky aren't too dissimilar from what some other R&B artists have been doing lately, mainly Pink Panthers throughout a good chunk of last year, 2023. And I'm going to be totally honest, if that's like an upcoming trend within R&B, I'm certainly not complaining. I've really exclusively heard good things from that kind of fusion so far, so, bring whatever is next, I guess. As you may have guessed by my praise for the detailing of this record sonically, a lot of the production here done by Erika de Casier and her cohorts is excellent at times. I feel like they really stand out in that regard. This is an extremely passionate album from a sort of soundscape perspective alone, and you can definitely tell that as you're listening to it. There are so many small moments here that feel like they had an extremely huge amount of effort put into them that you just wouldn't really expect from, I feel like, any other album or really any other artist right now. There are moments such as the album opening brief interlude-esque kind of track Right This Way, where the spoken word portion of the song overlaps with her vocals on it at the same time, and they kind of sort of do this call and response for a few moments before sort of fusing together at the same time. It's kind of hard to describe unless you actually listen to it for yourself, but I digress. I think that there are a lot of very subtle moments throughout this record that give it its own unique personality, so long as you are willing to lend an ear to it. There are a couple of issues that I'm personally willing to take up with still. The primary problem I have here really being that some of the tracks here just feel a touch underfinished, not necessarily saying that the whole album feels underbaked or anything like that, but there are a couple moments where I just wish that there was more going on, frankly. For example, Ice starts out as a great cut that then just abruptly ends and leaves me wanting more, and that's especially a shame after a really strong feature from They Hate Change, as well as some generally strong vocal work from Cassier on that track. I just feel like even if that was the artistic intent to leave the listener wanting more, which I can't confirm or deny, it wasn't really the right choice to make. I kind of walk away from a couple of tracks here in isolation, feeling a little bit underwhelmed, feeling that they might be a little bit shallow in terms of completion, but I digress. In the context of a full-length album, there's pretty much the perfect amount of material here. I just wish a few songs had more solidified endings, some more fleshed out mid-passages, etc., etc. Still may not be a total departure from what Erika de Casier fans have come to expect from her artistically, but at the same time, her third full-length studio album manages to highlight just how underrated she can oftentimes be within the current realm of even semi-artsy R&B. And if you haven't heard this record and that sounds like it's your jam, this is super accessible, this is super easy to get into. I honestly would be shocked to find anybody who really hated this album, so give it a shot. I'm going to give this record 3.5 stars out of 5. And with that being said, that is the end of this quick album review. I've been Zane from the Infinite Jukebox. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.